What's up, friends? Where you at? Where's your head at? How you people? You checking on your people? Check on your people. Check on yourself. If it's not good, talk about it. I feel like mental health is at the forefront of this album. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, I'm running. I'm running. That's how I feel about that. So yeah, some albums really dive deep into mental health and the darkness that be. And this is one of them, man. This is called The Fragile, and this is Trent Reznor's sequel to Downward Spiral. This is a double length album, and it came out in 1999. It's the third full length studio album on Interscope Records, and it is a big mamma jamma, coming in at 1 hour 44 minutes for your ethereal atmospheric pleasure. So I really dug deep into this album because, man, I didn't listen to it back in the day. And you know why I didn't listen to it? Because there was this god-awful single I thought was awful at the time called Starfuckers Incorporated. I don't dig that name. I don't dig glammy, sparkly videos. And that's what I remember. I haven't even gone back to check out the video, but that's what I remember in 1999 when this album came out. And so it turned me off completely. I've never even given the album a chance because of that song. So yeah, this was cool. I went back in, I peeled it apart like an onion. Took me a little Vidalia onion, and I started peeling the layers, and then I got to the hurt, I got to the grief, I got to the loss, I got to the depression, I got to the self-sabotage, and then I chopped it all up and I put it in a gumbo, and I made my listening pleasure The Fragile gumbo. Man, it's cool. It's you can hear a lot of classical remnants of Reznor's training from his early life as a child. He was classically trained pianist, and he was raised by his grandmother. But then he saw Kiss. Took a hard whatever, and he wanted to become a rock and roll star. So this album really gives you, like, I think he brought some of those elements back in, and probably as a tribute maybe to his grandmother, who played such an instrumental role in his life. And it's on quite a few songs, especially the finishing track, Ripe with Decay, is great. It's a beautiful classical masterpiece, just like you imagined on this record, and quite a lot of self-reflection and hard to deal with feelings. Taking a step back and really seeing who you are, who you represented yourself as and your mask to be. Starfuckers Incorporated was actually just a really good play on words with the type of people you encounter in this industry and the type of fake personalities you come across, I guess, when what can I say about this album? Man, it was long. It was very long. It was very deep, and it was very moody. The Great Below was really self-reflective and sad to me. It hit home because, and I like to listen to the waves, and sometimes I like to think that if I just fell into the waves like a mermaid. I could swim away, and that's what I felt on this album. I felt someone wishing that they had the ability to just let go and fall into those waves and let them carry them away. But, you know, you persevere on and you get through that moment. And sometimes we start the cycle all over again. You're going through addiction, and especially heroin addiction in his case. And at the same time this album was being composed, I think around this time he had lost his grandmother, and you can feel a lot of that. He did a lot of this album in the mansion that he bought in New Orleans, which I thought was really cool. He bought the old Joseph Merrick Jones house in Coliseum Avenue in New Orleans, and he had it turned into his studio. He put together this album, a lot of it there, and then eventually he moved out because of a noise ordinance. I mean, you're gonna really kick Trent Reznor out of your damn neighborhood? God, sometimes. Sometimes, you city, sometimes. But I love you, nevertheless. It was, you know, not the best time of his life, I now see. And title track, Wretched, The Day the World Went Away, a lot of self-reflection in that one. Great Below, The Way Out is Through Whispering. The Way Out is Through Whispering on this song. I feel a lot of that on this album. There's a lot of whispering, there's a lot of low tonal speaking, and I felt like it was a person that was really self-conscious about being this vulnerable. And this is just my opinion, but you know, he did a lot musically, instrumentally, and at a low tone level with his vocals, working his way up. It's like getting the courage to just fucking let out everything you need to let out, to talk about it. And that takes a lot of courage, and I think this album was very courageous and unconventional for Trent, and I think it played a big part in his healing process. So for that, I'm gonna say that this album was really great. However, a lot of parts leave something to be desired for me. I have a hard time with albums that are just very lingering in areas. You know, there's a lot of stuff here that reminded me of like even some old Pink Floyd. So there's a lot of that. And when you have an hour and 44 minutes of that, sometimes it can get to be too much. And I could have taken this album, personally, I would have liked to have taken it and grabbed about 12 awesome songs. Just Like You Imagined is really beautiful. L'Amour is really beautiful, soft-spoken. Like I said, one of those, here I am at my most vulnerable places. And I would have made a fucking beast of a record.